In this first film, we'll be covering parental responsibility. So what does it mean and how do you know if you have it?
What it means for, I suppose for a lot of the young men that we're working with, is around about the legal rights that they have as a dad and their responsibilities as a father as well, and what that entails, because quite a lot of the time when we say parental responsibilities, a lot of the young men don't know what that means and its whole thing about all the different responsibilities about where your child lives, where your child goes to school, about medical records, about accessing hospital, also that financial responsibility you have for your child as well. So we go through the legal jargon, which is really important, but also what we do and what I like to do is kind of break down what there is and make sure that those young men are comfortable with that and know what comes from having parental responsibility for your child. Mum automatically has parental responsibility because she gives birth to the child. If dad and mum are married or in a civil partnership, parental responsibility is automatic as well. And if dad registers at the birth with mum when the birth certificate is signed and dad is named as the father, PR is then granted. For someone to then get PR if they're not named on the birth certificate, or they're not married or in a civil partnership, that's when you could do that voluntary where mum and dad both agree that dad should be on the birth certificate and have PR. There is a legal document that can be downloaded from the government website where both parents can fill that information in. That gets sent off and then the registrar would then amend the birth certificate. If there's some dispute about dad being put on the birth certificate, then a child arrangement order can be requested. Again, that goes through the courts and there's a number of steps that you have to go through first. PR isn't automatically given just because dad has applied for it. There's a number of things that have to be done and looked at to make sure that PR is given safely and it's in the best needs and the best outcomes for the child to have dad on the birth certificate with PR.
So you've heard about the C100 form, which you can download from the government website.
The quickest option is to complete the form online.
We would also recommend using the CB1 government guidance form.
This will guide you through making an application, the type of court order you will need to make,
and who you will need to talk to about your case. Going through the court process can be expensive, but don't worry, here are some useful tips. Legal aid is an option for many young dads. There are also 2 forms as well as the CB1, which we would recommend you reading. Advice is always changing, so check out the Gov UK website.
You've just met Carl, who will be helping us on our journey. In later films, you will also be meeting Lydia and their son Ben.